We're here today with Stephen Buehler, author, bookseller. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for being a part of Stark Raving Group.
Well, thank you very much. I feel very honored to be sitting here.
This is just absolutely great. I'm going to hit you with our question of the day, which is, what is your favorite line from any book?
I used to work at the mystery bookstore in Westwood. I worked there for 3 years, and I could almost get anybody to buy a book if I read them the first line to this book called Gun Monkeys by Victor Buehler. It's such a great line. It sets the tone of the book. You want to know what happens next. And I hope I haven't built it up too big, but let's check it out. I turned the Chrysler onto the Florida Turnpike with Rollo Kramer's headless body in the trunk. All the time I'm thinking I should have put some plastic down. I would read that, and either they would like it and love it, or they wasn't for them. So
yeah.
That was a great tester, and I showed me the power of just getting the reader right away.
Have you been a writer all along, or are you relatively new to it?
Both. I've written since I was a child. I had started a book or two many years ago, and now I've the past 2 years or 3 years I've really put a lot of time and effort into getting short stories sold, and to have a novel and now a novella.
Which is fantastic.
Yes.
What led you to crime fiction, though? I mean,
it goes back to childhood. My mother was a big Agatha Christie fan, and she bought every book, so I would read those. So in the beginning, it was all about the puzzle for me, figuring out who did it, and why. And then as I got older and started reading more mature work, it became more about what was going on. It wasn't just who done it, but why was it done?
Leaning towards being at the mystery bookstore, you've been reading a lot. I always found that as a bookseller, it's like that's your other job.
Right, but it's also reading new stuff. So the Michael Conleys and the Robert Crays, the ones that I really want to read, I had to put on the back burner. So because I had to read and review these newer books, and that became a little frustrating.
Yeah.
It was great to find new authors, but still, I still have piles of those books to go through, which is kind of nice too.
Of those piles of books, read or unread, if we were to take you, shove you onto a desert island, plenty of food, plenty of water, you're all good.
Am I there for a long time? Or?
You're there for the duration, and you can only have 3 books. What 3 books would you take?
My literary book would be To Kill a Mockingbird. I read that book every 2 or 3 years, and every time I've read it, I've got something new out of it. I mean, it's just unbelievable to me how it's so layered. I mean, it's a childhood story, it's about prejudice, and how it all comes together, and I just love that book. Kind of mystery book would be The Maltese Falcon. I mean, to me, I love detective books, and this is the detective book. And also, I can picture everything that's happening because the movie is almost exactly the book. So I really like that. And my third book would probably be The Tower Treasure, which is the first Hardy Boys book. And I would probably bring that because when I would read those, that was like, oh, I got a new one. I'm going to read another Hardy Boys, and what's going to happen? And yeah, they were about the puzzle, but I liked hanging out with Frank and Joe. So it would probably be to keep that, since I'm there all alone, the sort of that child alive in me.
Given you're writing now for Stark Raving, can you give us a hint as to what we're going to be seeing from it?
Yes. I generally write in more comical or lighter work, but I wanted to tap into a story, and actually it's sort of based on a true story in the beginning, of 3 kids who, in high school, who wanted to kidnap one of their fellow students. And I did sit around a table with 2 other guys, and we sort of, who would it be? Why would we, how could we do it? All those kind of things. So that was a genesis for the story of that's what happens. In this story, the kidnapping goes off, something bad happens during it, and then it's sort of, and one of the friends unleashes sort of a monster inside of him. And so he becomes, to solve his problems, it's easier to kill somebody than it is to talk it out with them.
And what's our title?
Passing Time.
Passing Time.
Yes.
Well, we'll look forward to that.
Thanks for being a part of this. Thanks very much.
Appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Thank you.